Before betrayal, before weakness, he awakened the power that changed everything.
Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Awakened His Powers Earlier and Became Seriously Strong movie. Before we start, please go support LOL World 345 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. Issei is a young man attending Kuo University. This is his final year and he's unsure of what to do. He has secrets and doesn't get along well with his classmates due to his serious and quiet demeanor. He's known throughout the university for his complete mystery and coldness towards others, though deep down he's just a traumatized boy who longs to protect something he loves, even if he has nothing. Fortunately, for better or worse, his life suddenly regains meaning with the arrival of certain people. By pain. At Kuo University, students could be seen strolling through the campus with books, chatting amongst themselves, and enjoying student life. The student body was predominantly female, 60% to be precise. Many young people enjoyed spending their afternoons with friends or talking to new people. But in one of the university gyms, a young man with brown hair, somewhat long, stood with a vacant, carefree expression. He wore a simple judo training outfit consisting of shorts held up by a black belt. The reason for not wearing a shirt was that he wanted to feel something. It was strange that he was wearing a judo uniform since he trained in karate and mixed martial arts, but the less protection, the better for him. A taller young man glared at him angrily. Young man. That idiot again. He always comes dressed like that and he doesn't even train. He just comes to fight. Young man. That's Mr. Mystery of the university. I've always wanted to fight him, but he never accepts. Young man. I'll take care of that idiot. He thinks he can come here and make fun of us. The young man approached the training area and stood in the center, drawing the attention of all his classmates. Young man. Haidu, come here for a bit of training. The young man named Haidu didn't turn around and continued punching the wall with his bare hands. Young man. Issei, come here. The one now called Issei stopped and turned to look at the young man who called him. Young man. How about a training session? Issei. Sounds good. Issei slowly approached the young man and when he arrived, he punched him in the chest with an open hand. The young man felt like he couldn't breathe, but not for long, as Issei kicked him in the face, knocking him out. The young man fell to the ground and his classmates helped him up and took him to a chair before calling for help. Issei. Thanks for the training. Issei grabbed a bag with his clothes and left the gym, but not before changing. As he stepped outside, a sharp headache hit him and he heard a voice. Let me out. The young man shook his head slightly and his eyes slanted a bit like a reptile's, so he quickly closed them. When he opened them, they returned to normal. Issei was walking out of the university when he heard the voice again. We're being followed. Issei. I know. Use me. Issei. Shut up for a moment. Issei kept walking until he felt someone touch his shoulder. Just as he was about to twist his arm, he saw a woman. Excuse me, do you know where Kuo University is? The woman was about his age, with long black hair and ample curves. Issei. Yes, just go 3 blocks back. Would you accompany me? Issei. Seeing as you followed me from there, I suppose you know where it is. Have a good day. Issei was about to leave when the clouds turned a deep wine red, time stopped and he stopped walking. Issei. I'm fed up with this. Issei turned angrily toward the woman, who now had 2 black wings and a sadistic smile. Fine, if you don't intend to cooperate, you know very well why I'm here. Issei. Destroying your territory wasn't intentional. Even so, I was sent to kill you. Issei. Damn it. The woman flew toward Issei, but he managed to stop her with his hands. She tried to break free, but he kicked her hard in the chest. Issei let go of her and sensed another presence behind him, so he rolled to the side, dodging a kind of spear made of light. Issei. 2 against 1. Indeed. Many more fallen angels appeared on the scene, and Issei cursed himself. He ran a few meters, but all the light spears pierced his body, and blood began to flow, but it was black, even darker than the wings of the fallen angels. His body began to convulse, and his left arm began to transform into a kind of red armor with black accents, but it vanished instantly, and the blood returned to his body, as if he were under a movie special effect. The fallen angels prepared to attack again when they saw the light spears disappear, and the young man trembled. Issei. You can't do this. You've changed. You're not the same as before. You don't kill for pleasure anymore, remember, Issei. Let me out and I'll show them what we are. Issei. We're not that anymore. Let's finish this once and for all. Another round of light spears pierced the brunette's body and the liquid flowed again, but this time the young man spoke. Issei. Forgive me, God. A full body armor enveloped the boy's body and within seconds, the ground was covered in blood, this time truly red. A fallen angel, in particular, crawled along, one of her legs broken and the other forcibly torn from her body. The armor walked toward her, grabbed her by the neck and the leg, lifted her above it, waited for the sun to be perfectly positioned, and then sliced her in half, blood pouring onto her head along with some organs. The woman screamed in pain, but her scream was silenced when her head exploded in the armor's hand. This is what we are. Issei. No more, we have to stop. We can be better and stronger. Issei. I said stop. As you wish. The armor vanished, and the young man knelt while he still could, knowing the barrier would soon disappear, along with the fallen angels' corpses, the blood, and all other evidence of what had transpired. Issei. I beg your forgiveness for this again, God. The barrier disappeared, and the young man walked home. Upon arriving, he dropped his backpack and sat on an old broken armchair. He stared at the wall for a few minutes, as if waiting for something, until he stood up and smashed it. Behind it, a sort of secret room was visible, and from there, the young man magically disappeared from his house. Underworld, territory of the fallen. The young man arrived in his armor and saw how the fallen angels looked at him with fear, but they let him pass without saying a word. He went to the tallest building and entered, seeing a large table. He stood before it and saw a woman looking at him fearfully. He crouched down slightly. An. Fun fact. With the armor, he measures between 2.30 and 3 meters tall, depending on how much power he uses. Issei. Where is Azazel? Fallen angel. First room on the right. He's having a meeting with the other founders of the Gremory organization. Issei. Perfect. Issei entered through the door and everyone stared at him. Some stood up, preparing to attack, but a man with a blonde streak in his hair ordered them to sit down. Azazel. Welcome, Dragon of Terror, creator of the apocalypse, emperor of dreams, and conqueror of factions. Issei. I know I'm not welcome here by the others, except for you. Azazel. You're very perceptive. He takes out a glass and pours some alcohol. Want some? Issei. I killed a dozen of your fallen angels. Azazel. They attacked you? Issei. Exactly. I don't want to be attacked anymore. I don't want to be a part of this. Azazel. Sorry for the trouble. Fallen. You're apologizing to him when he killed 12 of ours. Azazel. Shut up. Look, Issei-kun, I know you've been through a lot, but unfortunately, they're a group of renegades. They don't obey orders, and they're still angry about the destruction of our old territory. Issei. I know I killed many in the process, and I don't blame them for being afraid of me, but I'm asking you to do something, or more fallen angels will die. Azazel. And what does the dragon inside you think? Issei. He's a genocidal maniac. I don't take his opinion into account. Azazel. I do. After all, he's the one who destroyed our territory. Issei. He's asleep right now. Azazel. Good, I'll do what I can. If you'd like, you can stay for a drink or Issei. Sorry, but I have to go. Azazel. Very well then. Until next time, my dear. Upon arriving, Issei noticed the angels eyeing him with a certain unease. He walked among them until he collapsed onto one knee, clutching a throbbing headache. The new territory to annihilate. The angels went on guard upon hearing the dragon's words and pointed their weapons at Issei until a blonde angel arrived and helped him to his feet. Issei. Sorry about that, and I hope that idiot only spouts his nonsense inside my head so as not to cause any trouble. You're welcome. Lower your weapons. Do you want me to take you to Michael? Issei. Yes, please, Dulio. Dulio. If you've come to ask for forgiveness, I must tell you that you have nothing to apologize for. Issei. I want to purify my soul. Dulio. As you wish. Dulio led Issei to a room where a man was praying. Issei waited outside the room, and when he finally entered, his head began to throb. Stay away from him, he's hurting us. Issei. You're an abomination, just shut up. Michael. Can I help you with something, Haidu? Issei. I've come to apologize for killing 12 fallen angels. Michael. Wow, that's new. When you come here, it's because you've killed at least 100 mythological beings. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Issei. I can't take this anymore. I need your help. Michael. You know we can't do that. Issei. Why not? It's his power that did this to me. Michael. You know very well that it was a mistake I deeply regret, but I can't help you. You must learn to live with it and control it. Issei. Forget it. I think I'd better go rest. Issei disappeared and Michael sighed as Dulio stood beside him. Dulio. Michael-sama, may I ask what mistake you mentioned? Michael. Ah, it was supposed to be a secret, but I trust you. You see, a while back, about 9 or 10 years ago, there was a family renowned for their exceptional skill in hunting evil demons. They were even offered reincarnation as angels or to join the group of human heroes with the sacred gears, but they declined because they had a son and didn't want to put him in danger. Dulio. And I suspect Haidu was their son. Michael. That's right. The family lived near a church, and one day they were asked to check it out because people had reported hearing strange things coming from the chapel. They were nearby and planned to leave the baby at home first, but just as they were about to leave, some kind of ghost attacked them, or at least that's what the record said. Today we know exactly what it was. Anyway, the parents attacked their assailant, but at a very inopportune moment, for some strange reason, the baby flew into the air. Both parents went after him, but before they could catch him, they were brutally murdered. Their bodies were mutilated, and the ghost caught the baby in its arms and was about to eat him, but some exorcists saw everything from afar and arrived in time to save the baby, although nothing could be done for the child's parents. Dulio. He knows the story very well. Michael. The exorcists told me this story before they died. They cared for the baby for a few months until they could no longer keep him, but one of them said he felt like something or someone was following them to their destination. He said that when the baby was held, he felt a very unpleasant vibe, like it was a demon. The child was left in a yokai village far from the city. He grew up there for a few years, and all the yokai children confirmed something. No matter the time of day or what he was doing, there was always a shadow darker and taller than him, but for some reason, not even the village sage could see it. Dulio. I don't like how this is going. Michael. One day, an adult yokai managed to see the shadow and went to attack the child, leaving him mortally wounded. And that's when another tragedy occurred. Not only did the attacker die at the hands of something unknown, but everyone saw the shadow behind him. It was Dreg. Dulio. I thought he had been sealed in a sacred gear. Michael. That's how it was, and we still don't know how he escaped. We only know he was deranged and entered the body of the boy from Bastor, destroying the entire village and killing most of the inhabitants. He remained dormant for many years because the boy's body wasn't ready. We made a fatal mistake. The three factions wanted to get rid of the problem without harming the boy, so the three great leaders met in a secret meeting deep within the underworld. Using an ancient ritual, we tried to free the boy, but we couldn't. Instead, we gave Dreg more power, and we awakened him. Dulio. But Issei-kun doesn't look so bad. Michael. He knows how to control it, even though he's broken inside. He's hurt and killed many people. He was the one who devastated the fallen territory, and if he were to lose control, he might do the same to ours. Dulio. And we can't kill Dreg. He said it was 10 years ago. Michael. That's right, he's already bonded to the boy's spirit, which is why it's impossible to kill him without killing Haidu. Dulio. Does he know that? Michael. I don't know. Issei's house. The brown-haired boy could be seen lying on a worn and dirty bed. He slowly closed his eyes as he saw a dragon's claw approaching him, but he didn't care. He just closed his eyes, and upon feeling the contact with a very sharp claw, he fell completely asleep. Equipment. A week had passed since the chestnut-haired boy had killed a dozen fallen angels. His days were quite peaceful, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary, except for the feeling that someone was watching him from the shadows. The boy entered his room, but noticed the clouds had turned a deep wine red once more. He turned around with a sigh and saw a blond man in a suit the same color as the clouds and a half-open white shirt. Issei. May I ask who you are? Razer. I'm Razer Phoenix of the Phoenix clan, human. Issei. Well, what are you doing here? Razer. I just wanted to ask you something. I heard that a week ago, a man with brown hair similar to yours killed 12 fallen angels. You wouldn't happen to know him, would you? I need to make a deal with him. Issei. Well, you're well informed. What the hell is wrong with this guy? Razer. Could it be you? Issei. That depends. Razer. On what? Issei. On what the deal is. Razer. You see, kid, I have a signed engagement with a woman from this school. I think they say she's popular here. Her name is Rias Gremory. Issei. I don't know many people here, and the name doesn't ring a bell. Razer. That's a shame, but oh well. The agreement was that we would get married when she finished university, but due to circumstances, I'd like to move things up. Issei. And what do you need from me? Razer. You see, I'm a demon, and there's something called raiding games. Issei. I know about that, and I've participated in one. Razer. Excellent. I'd like you to be one of my pawns to fight against her entourage and then marry me. Issei. I won't say anything about your demon diplomacy since I find it very stupid to force someone to do something, and I hate that sort of thing, so no. Razer. It's a shame that such a good warrior is so stupid. Issei. I know. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to return to my own time. Razer. As you wish. Issei turned around and put his things on his desk when an explosion destroyed the entire building. Issei fell onto the grass and got up, somewhat angry. Dreg. Who attacked us? Issei. Go to sleep, you idiot. I don't want any trouble. Dreg. Oh no. If someone wants to die, I'll be awake. Issei's veins began to turn black and Razer walked toward Issei, brushing a few bits of ash from his suit. Issei was getting up, struggling to hold himself together, and Razer grabbed his shoulder, but a powerful black explosion sent him flying. Wings of fire sprouted from his back and he floated in the air. Razer. Wow, that surprised me. Razer was missing an arm, but out of nowhere, it was restrained with a flame. Issei. I told you to stop. Drag. We won't hurt anyone if the clouds are this color. We can do this. Issei. It's not a question of whether we can, it's that I don't want to. Razer descended and moved a little away from the brown-haired boy. He threw a fireball that struck Issei in the back. Issei stopped struggling at that action. Issei. You know what, Drake? I think we're even now. I'm not running from anyone anymore, no matter who they are. Drake. That's more like it. We have to kill him. Issei's eyes were completely black. Razer looked at him strangely but approached using his wings. Unfortunately for him, the brown-haired boy appeared above him and buried his face in the ground with his leg. Razer pulled his face out of the ground and Issei grabbed his foot and threw him against a nearby tree. Issei. Give me a spear. A viscous black substance formed in Issei's hand and a red dragon-like spear with a black tip, fading along its length until it disappeared, appeared in his hand. Issei threw it at Razer, but Razer caught it with his right hand. Razer? Well, I wanted to be considerate. Drake. He's clearly an idiot. The spear began to adhere to Razer's arm, tearing it off and restraining him moments later. Razer. What is that supposed to be? The substance vanished from the ground and Issei walked toward Razer when he saw someone approaching from behind him. It looked like the silhouette of a woman, smaller than him, and she created a sword of the same design as the spear. Razer felt someone grab his arm. It was a young woman, about 17 or 18 years old, shorter than him. Razer. What are you doing here, Ravel? You must leave. Ravel. I saw this guy attack you and I'm going to help. Razer. You don't know what you're saying. Issei. Did you say you were from the Phoenix clan? Razer. Yes. Issei. I understand they're very proud and don't care about others. Who is she? Razer. That's none of your business. Ravel. I'm Ravel Phoenix, Razer Phoenix's younger sister. Issei. I see. Girl, get out of here. This is personal. Ravel. If you want to hurt my brother, you'll have to go through me. Issei. I'm not interested in hurting you. Drake. Just because her soul is pure and delicate compared to her brother's. Issei. I can kill, but only if they deserve it. Drake. Ugh, you're coming back to your senses. Ravel. What was that? Issei. Nothing. Issei's vision blurred for a few seconds, then he regained his senses, remembering what he had done. Issei. Shit, this is time out. Razer. What the hell is wrong with this guy? Issei approached Razer, who was on guard, while Ravel, the younger sister, was ready to burn him alive if necessary. Issei. Sorry, there's a dragon inside me that isn't exactly friendly. If you're going to participate in a raiding game to force someone to do something, that's your business. I'm not getting involved. Issei approached Ravel, but she backed away, so he stopped and gestured for her to come closer. Ravel approached shyly, and Issei leaned close to her ear. Issei. Don't let him get into so much trouble. It's a good thing this didn't escalate because I stopped it. Issei walked slowly back to his classroom, and both Phoenix sisters looked at him, puzzled, though the older one looked at him with a hint of anger on his face. Issei. Well, if we meet again, I hope it's under better circumstances. They both disappeared and everything returned to normal. Issei took 2 steps and once again the sky turned wine red. Issei. They won't let me rest for even a second. Issei sat on a bench, waiting for time to pass, when he saw a man of his same height but with long red hair approach him. Issei. I'll guess, you've come looking for a brown-haired man who killed 12 fallen angels. No, actually, I've come to wait, you can see me and talk to me. Issei. I'm not an ordinary human, so it doesn't affect me when you do this. You should do it less often. It's tedious. Sirzechs. Well, excuse me for that. I'm Sirzechs and I've come looking for a blonde man from the Phoenix clan. Issei. Oh, I fought him a few moments ago and they left. Sirzechs. You fought Razer Phoenix? Issei. Yes. Sirzechs. Didn't they tell you where they went? Issei. I don't know, I think to her house or castle or wherever they live. Sirzechs. You don't look hurt, that means you're strong. Issei. Relatively. Sirzechs. I need your help. Issei. Don't tell me you know Rias Gremory. Sirzechs. I'm her older brother. Issei. I don't intend to get involved in any of this. You two should resolve your problems, or rather, not sign or agree to things you regret. Sirzechs. It's a deal from a long time ago. Please, kid, help me. Issei. No, I already told you. Sirzechs. Oh, damn it, to think I failed her. Issei. I'm not going to feel sorry for you. I don't even know you. Sirzechs. Please, I can give you money if that's what you want, or Issei. I'm not that kind of person. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to rest a bit. Sirzechs. Now that I think about it, I believe we could both benefit. How about I give you some of my territory, Issei? Why do you insist so much? Sirzechs. May I sit down? Issei. Go ahead. Sirzechs. You see, my sister's dream has always been to come here to her world and get to know it better. She studied from a very young age so she could come, and now she wants a degree. She's very intelligent and beautiful, and she's highly sought after among the few pureblood demons, but she doesn't want to date or have a relationship with any of them because she knows most of them are lustful, and she wants someone who will love her for who she is, not for her body. Issei. Why are you telling me this? It has nothing to do with you offering me half of your territory. Sirzechs. You see, family is the most important thing, and if you wanted more land or many other things, I would be willing to give it to you if Issei. Shut up already. You seem like a good guy, but I don't need you to offer me anything. I feel like I'll regret this, but I'm going to help you. It's strange that a demon knows what dialogue is. Sirzechs. We're not as bad as you think. Issei. I've had my share of trouble with some of them. What do you want me to do? Sirzechs. I just want you to fight alongside my sister and her entourage in the raiding game. Issei. Okay. Sirzechs. Thank you. What's your name? Issei. Hi to Issei. Sirzechs. I'm Sirzechs Lucifer, Demon Lord of the Underworld. Issei. Nice to meet you. Sirzechs. I'll come back tomorrow to introduce you to my sister and her entourage. Issei. Okay. Phoenix Clan Castle, Underworld. A magic circle appeared in the main hall of the Phoenix Clan Castle, and Sirzechs stepped out. Razer stared at him and approached. Razer. Can I help you with something? Sirzechs. I just want you to know that Haidu Issei will be a temporary partner in my sister's entourage to help her win the game. Razer. Okay, wait a minute, Haidu Issei. Haidu Issei sounds familiar. Sirzechs. He's the one you were fighting a few minutes ago. Razer. Ah, I see. If I end up interfering after all, fine, I have no problem with that. Sirzechs. Then, until the day of the game. One day later, Cool University. Issei was sitting on a bench when the sky turned wine red. He just sighed and saw Sirzechs appear and greet him politely. He returned the greeting seriously and saw that there were several people behind him. Issei. Is she your sister? Sirzechs. That's right. Rias, this is Issei Haidu. Issei stood up and greeted Rias politely. She returned the greeting and Issei looked at the other women and the man. Sirzechs. Well, I'll introduce you in order. These are Kiba, Kaneko, and Akeno. Issei. Nice to meet you. Issei greeted everyone personally before speaking with Sirzechs. Issei. Hey, I don't think you need my help. You're strong enough to defeat Razer. Sirzechs. You have a lot of potential, but you need to know how to use it, otherwise it's useless. Issei. Okay, so what do you want me to do? Sirzechs. Train with them and him, adapt, and get along with everyone so you can make a good team. Issei. I'm not very sociable. Sirzechs. That's all I ask. I'm sorry, but I have to go now. Sirzechs disappeared, leaving the brown-haired boy alone with the entourage gathered in a circle, talking. Issei approached, but Kiba stopped him. Kiba. Sirzechs told us you sometimes lose control. Issei. It doesn't happen that often. There's nothing to fear. Drake. You should be fearing me. Rias. What was that? Issei. Nothing, just ignore it, he'll be quiet in a few moments. Rias. Welcome, temporarily or permanently, to the Gremory clan, hi to Issei. Is there anything you'd like to tell us? Issei. I hope I don't disappoint you. Akeno. Wow, you're quite polite and serious. The fallen angel said with a smile, and the brown-haired boy just shrugged. Rias then led Issei and the others through a magic circle to a somewhat old but very well-preserved building. Inside, there was a room with several sofas and a table with a chess set in the center. Issei. Before the meeting or strategy session begins, I have a question. Rias. What is it? Issei. I understand that if everything goes well, your engagement will be dissolved. Rias. That's right. Issei. Well, forget it. I was going to say something unnecessary. Rias. Alright, we need to manage our time. Now, I want to ask you a question, Haidu. Issei. Don't be so formal, just call me Issei. Rias. Alright, Issei-kun, do you specialize in close quarters or long-range combat? Issei. I'm good at both, but I'm better at close quarters fighting. Rias. Do you know how to use any specific type of weapon? Issei. Any weapon I can create. Kiba. How so? Issei. It's simple, I just think of a weapon, like a dagger. A viscous black substance appeared on Issei's arm and flowed to his hand, where it formed into a dagger with the same design as the previous weapons. Kiba. Amazing. Akeno. You seem to be full of secrets. Issei. Although I can also serve as a healer in very extreme cases, since I can only heal one person per day. Akeno. That's quite a package deal. Rias. Anything else you'd like to add? Rias sat in a chair behind a desk, looking directly at Issei. Issei. I think that's all. Rias. Good, this opens up many possibilities. I could put you with Kaneko, since even though she's strong, she needs to get close to attack her opponent, while you could support her with ranged weapons or magic projectiles. Kiba. We could all three form a guard together. Issei. It would be better if those two stay together while I'm behind them. That way, if someone gets away quickly, I can easily catch them. Akeno. That's what Rias and I are here for. We'll be the rear guard to prevent a checkmate, which is why we need strength in front. Rias. Exactly. Issei. There are too few of us. We can't leave the center unguarded. Maybe if Kiba and Kaneko position themselves on the ends while I act as an obstacle, that would work. Kaneko. Razer has a large retinue, and we don't know which of his pawns, rooks, or knights he might use. That's why it would be best to stay together. Rias. Although we're open to an ambush, we're outnumbered. Issei. Maybe not. Drake, I need you to check something for me. Drake, if it's what you think, I can do it, but on one condition. Issei. What is it? Kaneko. How strange, she's speaking aloud in an inner voice. Drake. I can hear everything you're saying, but the condition would be that you let me kill. Rias. Killing is forbidden in these raiding games. It's a simulation. Drake. No deal. Issei. Then no deal. Fine, we'll have to think of something else. Rias. We have all day today to think, so let's get to it. Demons. Issei was sitting at his desk when he saw everyone around him magically disappear. He stood up, somewhat worried, because while when a demon, fallen angel, or mythological being makes its presence known, it only stops time for a few seconds, creating a kind of bubble. This time the sky remained unchanged. He left his classroom, and his eyes saw a kind of red light, which he instinctively followed, arriving at the club where Rias and her entourage were. They were all going about their business, but they couldn't move, and the objects were frozen in place, as there was a cup floating in the air. Issei saw that the light was beneath his feet, so he went downstairs and saw an old piece of furniture, which he smashed with a single blow. When the dust settled, there was a well-maintained metal door, and he decided to open it. Upon entering the room, he saw that there was nothing there, or so he thought, since everything was very dark. Dreg. Heat vision. Issei's eyes began to see red dots around nearby objects or people that produced heat, like blood. He saw something move quickly across the room. Issei looked around as something leaped toward him, but he managed to grab it by the neck and slam it into the ground. At that moment, the spell vanished, and the lights came on, revealing a woman in his university uniform. Issei. Who are you? The woman simply stopped time again, using more power, but it only slowed Issei down, and she ended up disappearing into the darkness. Issei. Just stop doing that. Everything needs to go back to normal. Go away, and I'll think about it. Issei. You don't have the voice to intimidate me. In fact, I doubt you intimidate anyone, but fine. I just hope everything goes back to normal when I leave. Issei left the room, and the door closed behind him. He waited a few seconds and was about to go back in when he heard something break upstairs. Issei. Well, everything is as it should be. Issei went upstairs and everyone stared at him, surprised by his presence. Issei. Rias, what's downstairs? Rias. What are you talking about? Issei. Why is there a woman who can stop time? Rias. Oh, no, it's a man. Issei. Regardless, what is he supposed to be? Rias. He's a vampire. Issei. And is he part of your entourage? Rias. Yes, but it's a complicated story. I'm not yet strong enough to help him. Issei. Is he out of control? Rias. Sometimes when he gets scared, he tends to lose control of his power, but in a few minutes everything returns to normal. Issei. He could help us in the rising game. Rias. No, I made a deal with him and promised not to involve you until I can help him. Issei. Okay, but he should go outside or something. He can't stay down there. Akeno. He decided that. Issei. What? Hineko. When he got here, he didn't like contact with the outside world or with people. Issei. Fine, I'll come back tomorrow to train. I'll be a bit busy today. Have a good day. Everyone. You too. Issei left the building and walked to what appeared to be a river. Once there, he took off all his clothes and entered the water, letting himself be carried by the strong current. After about 30 minutes, Issei raised his hand and grabbed a tree branch, then stood up and got out of the river. Once there, he dried himself as quickly as possible and put on some clothes that were hanging on a tree. He walked into the large forest and arrived at a village where all kinds of people, or rather, yokai, could be seen. Issei entered through a large gate and walked among the crowd. It wasn't long before several male yokai in war attire arrived. Yokai. Name. Issei. I need to speak with the village leader. Yokai. The former leader died a long time ago. Now our leader is a man. I repeat, name. Issei. Haidu. Yokai. What are you? Issei. Human. Yokai. Humans don't know about this place. Issei. I used to live here. I'm a reincarnated human, so to speak. Yokai. You say you lived here. Tell me the name of our guardian. Issei. I don't know. Did you have a guardian? Yokai. When did you leave the village? Issei. Around 13 or 14 years old, when Tiamat died. What are you talking about? A woman, seemingly younger and shorter than Issei, stood before him. She had red skin and a dragon's tail, along with horns protruding from the sides of her forehead, all the same color. Her eyes were a dark orange, and her hair was black. Issei. Excuse me, what's your name? Masako. I'm Masako, and by the way, Mother Tiamat isn't dead. Issei. What? Masako. She's resting in the lake right now. Issei. Take me there. Masako led Issei down a hidden path he didn't even know existed. They talked for a while, and Masako discovered that Issei had been partly raised by Tiamat. She couldn't understand why his dragon mother, being such an honorable woman, had done that. When they arrived, they saw a dark-haired woman with a prominent figure sitting on the shore of a lake with her feet submerged. She was gazing at the sun when her daughter called out to her. Masako. Mama Tiamat, someone wants to see you. Tiamat. Who is it? Issei. It's been a while. I thought the next time I'd see you would be when I went to your grave. Upon hearing this, Tiamat suddenly opened her eyes and seeing a young man slightly, but only slightly, taller than her eyes welled up with tears. She stood up and went to hug him, but he simply stopped her with one hand. Issei. What are you doing here? Tiamat. What do you mean, what am I doing here? Issei. You died. They told me. Tiamat. Many things happened during that time, but now you're safe and better than ever. I'm glad to see you. Issei. I wish I could say the same. Tiamat was surprised by the attitude of the boy she had raised as if he were her son, although she never saw him that way. She always saw him as a man, and it wasn't because she lacked maternal instinct or anything like that. It was because all the male dragons always wanted to duel her in order to mate and have children, something she hated. Yes, she took good care of him and taught him to defend himself, but now he was an older man, and she remembered him as a simple, cheerful boy. Tiamat. What happened to you? Issei. I grew up, obviously, with the idea that the people who care for me die just for being by my side. Tiamat. Look, the village was in danger, and it was best if you left. I did it for your own good. Issei. By faking your death. Tiamat. I didn't fake it. I just asked them to lie to you, but it was for a good cause. Issei. Oh, never mind. I just wanted to see if you were still the same kind woman who didn't like to show that side of herself, but I see that you never really were, and you only thought of yourself. Issei was about to leave when Tiamat grabbed his hand. Tiamat. Don't you want to hear why? Issei. No. Issei broke free from her grip and said a reluctant goodbye. Masako. What happened? Tiamat. You see, a while ago, several dragons found out I was raising a child. Issei, to be more specific. I loved him with all my heart. He had shown me what being a mother meant, even though he wasn't my son. One night, I woke up and went to his room, since he tended to go out at night to explore nearby areas. But when I opened the door, a dragon was sinking its large venomous fangs into his abdomen. I was enraged and killed the dragon, then desperately sought help, but Issei healed on his own. After that, I didn't know what to do, and I realized that if I stayed near him, I would end up getting hurt. Masako. I see. And you still see him as a son. Tiamat. He's not a little boy anymore, and I only took care of him for about 2 or 3 years. He's a mature man now, but it saddens me that I can't even be someone he can trust. Issei. That's good to hear. Both women turned towards a tree, and a chestnut tree could be seen looking at her seriously. Issei. I wanted to see what you had to say since I know you, and it wasn't a disappointment. He climbs down from the tree. I won't get angry over something so silly with you, and you know it. In fact, I'm very grateful. Issei hugged Tiamat, and she happily returned the hug. She even picked him up and flew a few meters into the sky with her dragon wings. Tiamat. It's good to see you again. Issei. Although I won't deny that it was hard when I escaped from the village. Tiamat. I'm sorry. It wasn't something I wanted. Issei. I'm fine. I've learned a lot, but let's go down. Masako. Well, then you're my brother. Issei. No, we're just acquaintances. I'd like to start fresh. Tiamat. That's fine by me. Issei. Well, if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to look for me. I live in Kuo. Tiamat. Are you leaving so soon? Issei. Yes, I have to train. I'm going to participate in a raiding game. Tiamat. Did you become a demon? Issei. I'm not just doing you a favor, now if you'll excuse me, I must go. Both women accompanied Issei to the river where he said goodbye and went home. Arriving wet, he took a shower and changed. As he left his house, he noticed that Tiamat and her daughter had followed him, so with a sigh, he went to the university. There, he found Kaneko training alone and greeted her. Later, he went to Rias and Akeno to talk about the raiding game. Issei. So, how much time do we have? Akeno. About 3 days. Issei. Then we'll have to make good use of them. Issei left with Rias and Akeno to train. They both decided that the best thing would be to go to the underworld to further strengthen their abilities. Rias. Will you come with us? Issei. No, I prefer to train here. I'll see you later. Rias and Akeno left and Issei went to the club. Once there, he wrapped bandages on his hands, spun a chain around his abdomen and jammed it into the building's door. He then began running as fast as he could, shaking the building. Kaneko watched the brunettes training in amazement, not worried about anyone seeing him, since they had created a bubble to train without a care in the world. Issei ran about 30 laps around the university before simply leaving the building. He removed the chain from his abdomen and dropped it on the ground. Issei. Well, I think I need to become more resistant to blows. Kaneko-chan, could you do me a favor? Kaneko. Yes. Issei. Look, I'm going to put my hands behind my back while you hit me with everything you've got. Not satisfied Kaneko. Are you sure? Issei. Don't worry. Konko took a running start and sprinted towards Issei, landing a punch to his stomach that jolted him slightly. Then, Kaneko proceeded to unleash a flurry of blows to his face and chest, using him like a punching bag. Issei endured the blows without complaint. After several minutes, both were exhausted and decided to rest. Issei. You hit really hard, but you should back off sometimes. Kaneko. But you weren't moving. Issei. That makes sense. Issei lay down on the ground and Kaneko did too, but for a split second, Issei caught a glimpse of Kaneko's underwear and she noticed. Issei. It wasn't on purpose. Kaneko, annoyed by the brunette's actions, grabbed his arm and threw him against a wall. Issei. Well, I won't deny it. Issei got up and Kaneko looked at him, disappointed, but after a sigh, she left. Issei. Okay, I'll apologize when she's calmer. Maybe tomorrow. I'll go home now. Issei returned home and noticed that Tiamat and Masako had been tidying up. Tiamat. I can't believe you lived like that. Masako. You should take better care of your home. Issei. I'm hardly ever here. Most of the time I'm out on the streets, although lately not so much, now that I think about it. Tiamat. Fine, from today on I'll live here and you will too, Masako. Masako. Ah, no, I won't try to change her mind. It would be a waste of time. Tiamat. Is there a problem? Issei. If you don't mind living with me, go ahead. It's just that there are 2 empty rooms right now. I could lend you mine since it's the only one with a bed and I sleep in a hotel. Tiamat. We can sleep on the floor. Issei. No, we can't. Masako. Why? Issei. Why don't I want you sleeping on the floor on your first day if you're staying here? I'll go find some beds tomorrow. Luckily, I have some money. Tiamat. You work? Issei. Part-time as a police officer. Masako. Are you some kind of guards? Issei. Haven't you ever been to a city before? Masako. No. Issei. There will be a lot to teach you in a short time. I'll see what I can do. For now, sleep in my bed. Issei left his house after saying goodbye and went to a hotel for the night. One day away from the raiding game. Issei was at a waterfall, wearing pants and barefoot, shirtless, resting. Everything was peaceful until a demon clan symbol appeared and a blonde woman with some colleagues emerged from it, looking somewhat worried. Ravel. Hi to Issei. Issei. I'm here. Ravel went to the brunette as he dried himself with a towel and put on a shirt. Issei. What's wrong? Ravel. I need your help. It's urgent, but you have to come with me. Issei. Does it have anything to do with the raiding game? Ravel. Not at all. Issei. Fine, take me where you want to go. Ravel stood beside the brunette and opened a magic circle, transporting them to her house. Ravel. You see, my brother was preparing for the fight they were going to have. Issei. You said it had nothing to do with it. Ravel. Wait, I'm not finished yet. One day he went to train, but when he returned he looked terrible and mentioned your name a couple of times with a vacant stare. Then he asked me to find you and wants to talk to you. Issei. Okay, please guide me. Ravel led Issei through the castle and they arrived at Razer's room where several people were looking at him with a certain threatening air, but he ignored them. Ravel. I brought Issei-sama as you requested, brother. Issei-sama. Since when do I get along with her or him? Razer. Haidu. Issei approached Razer and could see that his Phoenix healing factor wasn't working very well. It was functioning, but very slowly. Razer. I need you to do me a favor. Issei. What do you need? Razer. I want you to go to Dragon Mountain with Tannen. I need to know what attacked me. I knew it was a dragon, but I don't know which one or who. Issei. Is that all? Razer. And if you can, please defeat the imbecile who did this to me. Issei. Fine, but I need to know what it looked like. Razer. I only knew it was a dragon because of its wings. It was covered in a kind of black cloud, and its wings, fangs, and scaly skin were prominent. Issei. Well, that's not much information, but I'll do what I can. Issei stood up and was about to head for the door when Razer stopped him. Razer. We're not finished yet. What do you want in return? Issei. A simple thank you would be enough. Razer. Are you serious? Issei. Hey, I know what it's like to go through a rough time, and if I can help in any way so these people stop worrying about me. Everyone was astonished by the chestnut-haired man's words, especially Ravel, who no longer saw him as a stranger interfering in personal matters, but as a good and exemplary person. Razer. Alright then, when you're finished and come back, I'll thank you. Issei. I'll be back in a few hours or days. See you soon. Issei left the room, and all the family members stared at Phoenix, who was lying in bed. Razer. It seems it's not as bad as I thought. Issei stood outside the castle, wondering what he would say to the others, since if he didn't finish the favor today, the raiding game would obviously be postponed. He was about to leave when he heard Ravel's voice and saw her fly toward him wearing a red and white dress and carrying a small backpack. Issei. What are you doing? Ravel. I'm going to accompany you. Issei. It's a dangerous place. Ravel. Well, it's about my brother's health. I know he would do the same for me. Issei. It sounds nice to have a family. Let's go. Ravel was surprised by the brunette's comment, but chose not to ask and walked beside him. Upon leaving Phoenix territory, they decided to fly to arrive as quickly as possible, since the Dragon territory was one of the few places inaccessible except by land or air. Transportation didn't work there. They flew for a while, but noticing that Ravel wasn't very fast and was tired, they landed and walked through small villages in the underworld. Issei took the opportunity to sample some of the local food and observe the hierarchy, the people, and so on. Although they couldn't afford to go out and have fun, night fell, and they didn't know what to do. Issei. You could rent a room at an inn. Seeing that you're from a well-known family and have money makes me feel useless. Ravel. Oh, you could take the train that will take us near Dragon territory, and you can rest there too. Issei. Train. Ravel. It was created because there were places you could only reach by land or air, and since people got tired because the journeys were so long, they decided to create one that could fly and follow a pre-established route. Issei. That sounds good, although a bit expensive. Ravel. Don't worry, they won't charge us since I'm from the Phoenix clan. Members of important clans get to ride for free. Issei. They have many advantages. Ravel. Yes, although we almost never go there. Issei. Okay, let's board that train. They both boarded the train, and there were only rooms with bunk beds, so they requested one. Ravel left her things on a table, and Issei left the room for a few seconds so she could change. Issei. I didn't think you had a change of clothes for sleeping. Ravel. I thought of everything. I knew it would be a very long trip, and I prepared myself. It might even take us a week or two. Issei. Can I get in now? Ravel. Yes. Issei. Opens the door. Well, that was very clever of you. You're very smart and came well prepared. Ravel. Oh, thank you. Hardly anyone compliments me on that. Issei. Well, they should. You're very clever. Issei lay down on his bed, which was downstairs, and Ravel climbed onto the other one. Minutes passed, and they both fell asleep. A few hours later, Issei woke up and saw that it was already dawn in the underworld. So he left his room and asked a train worker for clothes for the journey. He never imagined the demons would be so civilized, and they gladly gave him 2 complete changes of clothes. One for the high temperatures of the Dragon territory and another for normal wear. Issei returned to his room and noticed that Ravel was just waking up. Issei. Good morning. Ravel. Good morning, Issei-sama. Issei left the room again and sat in a chair by the window to admire the views of the underworld, appreciating its beauty. A few minutes later, Ravel arrived, already changed, and sat down across from him. Issei. How many days is the trip? Ravel. About 3 or 4. Issei. That's longer than I thought. Do you have some kind of training room? Ravel. Yes, the last Bagan is specialized for that. Issei. That's good to hear. I think I'll go train. Ravel. Aren't you going to have any breakfast? Issei. Well, I saw you had a kitchen, so I was thinking of making myself something light. Ravel. If you'd like, I could make you breakfast. I always cook at home for pleasure. Issei. Isn't that a bother? Ravel. Not at all. Issei. Great, then I'll be looking forward to it. Issei went to train for a bit and after a few minutes, Ravel arrived with a tray full of delicious-looking food. Issei wiped some sweat from his forehead and got out of the train car to sit at a nearby table next to Ravel. Issei. Well, thanks for the food. Issei proceeded to taste a little of each dish while Ravel waited to hear what he would say. It was always something she expected when someone ate her food. The brunette looked at her seriously and she became a little nervous. Issei. Aren't you going to eat? It's delicious. Ravel. Oh, yeah, I was just thinking about something unimportant. They both proceeded to eat and after that, Ravel went to read some books she had while Issei resumed his training. After a few hours, the brunette returned to the room and noticed that Ravel was looking out the window with a melancholic expression. Issei. You're worried about him, aren't you? Ravel. How could I not be? He's my brother. Issei. I may not know many things, but I assure you everything will be alright. Your brother will recover when you find out what hurt him. Ravel. What if we can't? Issei. I give you my word, it'll work out. The blonde just nodded with a small smile and the brunette sat down on his bed. Issei. It's incredible. Ravel. What? Issei. Their family, despite all the problems and everything, they still love and care for each other. Ravel. Well, that's what a family does. Issei. They always told me my parents died protecting me from something, but I don't remember anything. I guess it was because I was so young. Ravel. Oh, that's a sensitive subject, I'm sorry. Issei. Don't worry, most of my life was like that. It's not like it affects me much now. Ravel. But it must have been difficult. Issei. Extremely, but well, it's not the time to be sad. I have a favor to do and you have a brother to heal. Ravel. Yes. They spent the remaining days together, forming a very good friendship. Meanwhile, when Ria's entourage learned of the suspension due to the attack on Razer and that Issei, accompanied by Ravel, would be helping him, they only hoped that everything would go well and that, with a bit of luck, it would make Razer reconsider the engagement. Dragon territory. Issei could be seen wearing a jacket, as could Ravel, though she also had thermal leggings and used her wings to keep warm due to the low temperature and snow. Upon reaching the top of the mountain, they saw a large number of dragons and several curved structures that served as dwellings. When they arrived, a large dark purple dragon with black markings looked at them seriously but sensed Drake's malevolent presence and turned to Issei. Issei. Are you Tannen? Tannen. That's right, Sekiryuutei. It's been a long time since I've seen a drag wielder, probably because they ended up dead from the disorders it caused them. Issei. I'm aware of that, but I managed to overcome it. This is Ravel. Tannen. Yes, from the Phoenix clan. I'm not that uninformed. What are you doing in the dragon territory? Ravel. You see, a while ago my brother said he was attacked by a dragon and his healing factor isn't working as it should. He also says he couldn't see it properly because of a dark aura or something like that. Tannen. The only one with those characteristics is Drake, but he's sealed away. Issei. Well, regardless of that, is there a cure or anything that can help him heal? Tannen. If it was a dragon wound, then he can heal with a little of Samuel's blood. He's our greatest fear. He can kill us very easily. Issei. And how would that help him? Tannen. What if the wound was caused by a dragon? The blood will rot or disinfect the entire wound, releasing either the bleeding, curse, or whatever it did to him. Issei. And where do we get that? Tannen. Well, as far as I understand, Samuel was imprisoned years ago and his whereabouts are currently unknown. It's believed he's deep within the territory of the fallen, but they deny it. However, I could help you find a place with a vial. Issei. In exchange for what? Tannen. I'd like you to cooperate with some experiments. I need to know things about Drake in case he manages to break free somehow. His cunning, despite his madness, is incredible. Issei. I accept. Tannen. Good, both of you hop on my shoulders. Issei flew onto Tannen's shoulder, followed by Ravel. Tannen rose a little into the sky and proceeded to fly openly through it while the young people tried not to fall, well, specifically Ravel, who was being helped by the brown-haired man. After several minutes, they arrived at a rather large cave. Tannen. One of my sons mentioned a while ago finding a vial of Samuel's blood but decided to keep it safe because of how dangerous it was. He said he posted a guard at a bend in the road and told me which one it was. Issei. Well, I suppose you'll help me defeat him. Tannen. Unfortunately, I'm afraid not. I'm forbidden from attacking another of my kind unless it's war or they've committed treason. It's an agreement we all, the former kings, accepted. Issei. Well, so this is where it ends. Tannen. I'll wait out here and give you a small advantage. Tannen burned the chestnut-haired man's body, and he withstood it without any problem, since it didn't cause him any pain. When it was over, he could see that part of his clothing had become similar to the armor Tannen wore on his chest. Tannen. You'll be able to withstand the blows better. Ravel. I'll come too. I'll support you from behind. Issei. Alright, let's go inside. As soon as they entered the cave, a great roar echoed, and a massive dragon awoke, its lanted red eyes fixed on them both. Ravel took a step back and unfurled her phoenix wings, ready to face whatever might happen, while Issei activated his balance breaker modification. Issei. Ravel, if I get hurt, could you heal me? Ravel. Yes, though I only have one phoenix tear with me. Issei. Good. Issei charged at the dragon and delivered a powerful blow to its face, knocking out a tooth. Ravel was surprised by the brunette's strength, but then alarmed to see him being devoured in one bite by the creature that was now approaching her. It shot fireballs and flew to dodge the dragon's claws. Suddenly, with one of its talons, the dragon managed to grab Ravel and pull her to its mouth, where Ravel watched as Issei used some of his strength to force the dragon's mouth open. Issei. Unleash all your fire. Ravel summoned a magic circle from which a great burst of flame erupted, engulfing the dragon's mouth and burning it from the inside. Issei managed to escape, slightly burned but not seriously, and told Ravel to back off. Issei. Yeah, it's strong. A green light began to emerge from the dragon's neck, moving towards its mouth. Issei used his body as a shield to protect Ravel, as the dragon spat toxic venom from its mouth. Ravel emerged unscathed, but the chestnut-haired boy's armor was badly damaged. Ravel. Can you continue? Issei. Yes, but I need to take a risk. Burn my hand, and when you see me approach him, shoot him to distract him. Ravel. Fine, maybe I can do something good. Ravel burned the chestnut-haired boy's hand, but not only that, using a bit of magic, he also managed to create a fire scythe, though he became very tired. Issei thanked him and flew towards the dragon, while Ravel shot small bursts of fire at him. Issei entered its mouth and began to kill the dragon from the inside with the scythe, but the dragon vomited him up in defense. When Issei emerged, he stood up, and the dragon grabbed him with both claws, and then tore him in half. Ravel tried to approach Issei's body, but the dragon prevented him. Tannen. Damn it, kid, I told you, I want to intervene, but screw it. Tannen destroyed the cave with a single blow of his koma and began to fight the dragon in hand-to-hand combat, while Ravel, very scared, approached Issei and took out the vial with a tear, but due to his nerves, he dropped the vial, but Issei caught it with one hand. Ravel. What? Issei. I can heal myself too, but unlike you, it hurts a lot. Issei's blood mingled with the black ground, but Ravel could see how the blood moved to his severed limbs and slowly rejoined them as Issei endured the pain. When it was over, Issei tried to get up, but he didn't have the strength, so he rested for a few seconds on the rock. Ravel. Don't scare me like that, it was horrible. So you can't die. Issei. If they cut off my head, yes, or if they pierce my heart. By the way, don't drop it. Issei handed the vial to Ravel, and she put it away. Later, they went and helped Tannen defeat the Guardian in a combined attack by the three of them, but they didn't kill it, they only knocked it unconscious. Issei. And the vial. Tannen. I understand it's here. The dragon reached into one of the small parts and ripped out a kidney. Issei. We weren't supposed to kill him. Tannen. He regenerates that part of his body in a matter of hours, he'll be fine. Tannen sliced the organ in two, and a vial of green liquid fell to the ground. Issei caught it, but then Drake's voice was heard. Drake. Get that away from me. Tannen. Yeah, we'd better be careful. Taking a step back, Ravel. I'll hold it. Now we can go home. Can we teleport here? Tannen. It's still dragon territory, so no, but I can take him to his home. It won't take more than 30 minutes. Issei. Really? Tannen. Yes, just hold on tight so she doesn't fall. I can barely handle my previous speed. They both climbed onto Tannen's shoulders, and Issei put his hand around Ravel's waist. She clung to his chest, blushing, and Tannen began to fly. Her hair moved in sync with the wind as a smile spread across her face, her cheeks flushed. She looked at the brunette with a calm expression, holding her firmly but without hurting her. That's how the entire journey went until they arrived at Phoenix Castle. They applied Samuel's blood to his wound, and it began to heal rapidly. Razer got up within minutes, feeling like new, and went to hug his sister. Razer. Thank you for going to such lengths for me. Ravel. I wasn't the only one. Issei-sama almost died. Razer. Really? Issei. Well, I was cut in half in a gruesome way, and it hurt to put the two halves of my body back together, but no hard feelings. It's nothing. It was a favor. Razer. You're not as bad a guy as I thought, Haidu. By the way, during my stay in bed, Rias came, and I reconsidered the rating game, and let her be free to choose her partner. But I'd like to face you someday. Issei. Fine then, for my sake. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going home. Ravel. Thank you for everything, Issei-sama. Issei left the castle, and the dragon Tannen was waiting for him. Issei. I thought you'd left. Tannen. I want you to come train under my tutelage. I don't feel comfortable knowing a good person is in Drake's hands. Issei. I used to be like that, but not anymore. I did a lot of harm in the past, and I want to redeem myself by helping others. Tannen. But I could help you by training with me. Maybe that way you can stop tormenting yourself inside. I can tell. Issei. Well, it's something you learn to deal with, although the training wouldn't hurt. I need to get stronger, but I have to go home. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Tannen. Okay, kid. See you soon. Issei left the underworld, and when he got home, the first thing he did was take out all the old and broken furniture to start a complete renovation. The desperation of a dragon. After saving Razer and annulling Ria's marriage in the process, the chestnut-haired boy spent his days peacefully at home and at the club he joined at Kiba's request, since he was the only man there. A month had passed, and he already had a fairly strong relationship, however strange it seemed to him, with everyone in the club. Although, from time to time, whether by luck or curse, Issei would end up in a rather compromising situation with one of the girls, he always apologized as if nothing had happened. The club was quite quiet and Issei was sitting on the sofa, looking out the window at a beautiful bright light. Issei. What could that be? It wasn't long before the light approached quickly and shattered the window, but Issei managed to catch it and saw that it was Dulio. Issei. Dulio, what are you doing here? Dulio. So you were here. Rias. Who is he, Issei-kun? Issei. A friend. Did something happen? Dulio. I need you to come with me quickly. Issei. Why? Dulio. I'll explain when we get there. Kiba. Can we come? Dulio. Well, the more help the better, but they're demons, so I don't know if they can get into heaven. Don't get me wrong, it's just quite complicated and we don't have time. Issei. I won't be long. Let's go, Dulio. Dulio grabbed Issei's shoulder and they both disappeared. The Keno. Lately, many people have sought Issei Huan's help. With a smile, Rias. And he's become quite popular, even though he hardly talks to anyone. Heaven. Upon arriving, Issei saw several angels forming a circle of people, and Dulio asked them to step aside. Dulio. You're a dragon, Issei. Issei. Not completely. Dulio. Well, I need you to see this. In the center of the crowd was a dragon egg, and Issei noticed a dark aura emanating from it, as did Dulio. Issei approached while the angels watched and decided to touch the egg to see if it would react. When his finger touched the egg, it moved rapidly, and all the angels were excited to see such a beautiful creature as a dragon being born. Dulio. Do you think it will hatch? Issei. I'm not very good at this, I'll call someone. Issei's house. Tiamat was eating something with her daughter when Issei suddenly appeared and asked her to accompany him. Upon arriving in the sky, Tiamat saw the dragon egg and instinctively reverted to her dragon-tailed form with reptilian eyes, since in the human world she was always camouflaged. She approached the egg and wrapped her tail around it before sitting nearby. Issei. And will it hatch soon? Tiamat. Yes, in a few minutes. Massacre. It's always great to see a dragon being born. Issei. By the way, Massacre-chan, you're half human, half dragon. How are you born? Massacre. Unlike normal dragons like this one, we're born from a mother's womb. Although, some dragons that hatch from eggs, if they acquire a certain power, can take on a human appearance, for example, Mama Tiamat. Issei. Well, that's new to me. Tiamat. Issei, I need to ask you a favor. Issei. Yes. Tiamat. I need you to find the real mother of this hatchling. Issei. Of course, it's the simplest thing in the world. Dulio. To begin with, how did a dragon egg get here? Issei. Well, there could be several ways. One of them is that it was stolen. Tiamat. If that's the case, the mother must be furious. Go to the dragon territory, Issei. Issei. It'll take me a week to get there. Tiamat. Oh, that's right. You can't teleport there. Drake is forbidden from even entering, even though you said you did. Issei. Tannen gave me his consent. Tiamat. So the old man still has power there. Masako, accompany him so you can get there faster. Masako. We'll return as quickly as we can. Masako stood beside Issei, and a burst of fire engulfed them both, making them disappear. Dragon territory, breeding mountains. Upon arriving, Issei saw several mothers with eggs nestled in their bellies, providing them with warmth, which made him feel somewhat uneasy. Drake's instinct told him to devour the hatchlings inside the eggs, but he ignored it. They both advanced through the area, watched by the females ready to defend their eggs, when Issei noticed a large icy blizzard approaching them in the distance. He activated his boosted gear and blocked the attack. Masako stood behind him and an ice dragon appeared with a great roar. Issei. Do you think it recognized the scent of the egg? Masako. That's most likely it, we have to talk to him. Issei. Okay, excuse me, we know where your hatchling's egg is, so dragon. Thieves, usurpers. The dragon struck Issei with her tail, but he managed to block the attack. Masako. Wait, maybe you don't trust him because he has drag inside him, but we know where your egg is, and we can bring it back. Dragon. Where? Issei. In the territory of the angels, heaven. Dragon. Child, please bring it here, it's about to hatch. Masako. Wait here, Issei. Issei. Sure. Masako disappeared, and the dragon glared at Issei with hatred. He calmly feigned indifference. After a minute, Tiamat appeared with the egg and gave it to the mother, who covered it with her tail and belly, as the egg began to crackle. Issei. Well, I'll be off for a moment. Drag. Food, blood, death. Issei. Shut up, you idiot. Issei left the breeding mountain and ran into Tannen. Tannen. Will you accept my training? Issei. Yes, I've been thinking about it and I'd like to. I just need you to let me teleport here. Tannen. I can't just let you appear in the territory like that, but there's a mountain a little ways away that's still part of the territory and I could train you there. It's the best I can do. Issei. Okay, what should I do? Tannen. Relax. You'll feel the heat of my fire for a few seconds. A burst of flame engulfed Tannen's mouth and proceeded to set the chestnut-haired boy's body ablaze. He was enduring the pain for a fleeting moment and Tannen paused. He was about to speak when he saw something on Issei's back begin to stir, as if trying to break free. Issei. It hurts, Tannen. What did you do? Issei fell to his knees, the pain intensifying as Tannen tried to help the brown-haired boy. Hearing his cries, Tiamat and Masako emerged to try and calm him, but dragon wings sprouted from his shoulders, staining the ground and Tiamat's face with blood. Then, Issei's fangs began to sharpen, causing bleeding from his mouth, and his skin turned black. His eyes became completely white and Drake's voice could be heard, prompting Tannen to quickly search for a wise dragon. Tiamat embraced the brown-haired boy, trying to soothe him, while Masako gave him water from a nearby spring. Issei broke free from her grasp, and his skin began to become rough and hard, like a dragon's, and his hair began to grow longer. The golden light illuminated his wide eyes, revealing his slanted reptilian eye, which was black, as was his skin, which had wine-colored tinges. Claws began to sprout from his feet. Just like in his hands, and in the end, a joke also appeared. Issei leaned against a rock and crawled to a spring, even though Tiamat tried to stop him and saw his reflection in the water. Issei. Issei tried to speak, but his voice wouldn't come out and a worried look was visible from afar. Tannen arrived and saw that Issei looked very much like a miniature version of Drake, so he decided to take him as far away from the Dragon Mountains as possible. Upon leaving the territory, Issei, in his anger, tore off pieces of his skin, but they regenerated. He tried to scream in pain and hatred, but his voice simply wouldn't come out. Tiamat. What will we do? Tannen. It's best if he stays here. He can't return to the human world. Masako. We should ask his friends for help. Tiamat. Tannen, wait here. We'll go for help. Tannen. Okay. Both women disappeared. By the time Tannen turned around, Issei was gone. Tannen flew to the dragon territory, but there was nothing there, so he searched the entire underworld as fast as he could. Sky. Issei appeared in the sky, and all the guards were ready to attack until Dulio appeared. Issei grabbed his hands, looked at him with fear, and pointed to his mouth. Dulio. What are you? Issei wiped away some blood with his claws and wrote his name on a wall, surprising Dulio, since it wasn't just Issei, but his blood was black, much blacker than before. Dulio. What happened to you? Issei pointed to his throat and indicated that he couldn't speak, so Dulio took him to Michael, who examined Issei with concern. Michael. Drake seems to be up to his old tricks. Dulio. Does that mean he's going to take over Issei-kun's body? Issei fainted and Michael sat him down in a chair, but they saw him get up. Drake. Even if I wanted to take over his body, I couldn't. Doing this drains too much energy. Drake was using Issei's body to communicate with the angels, and both of them were more than surprised. Drake. I wanted to send a message, so I decided to use a great deal of my energy. I will personally eliminate each and every one of you using this boy's body. He is the strongest host I have ever had, and I don't intend to waste my opportunity. With a macabre smile, a black sphere formed in Drake's palm, and he detonated it, destroying the entire area. However, thanks to Michael's divine protection, nothing happened to him or his Joker. They both prepared to attack, but they saw the body begin to convulse, and some parts reverted to their human form. Issei. I already told you that you won't have me. I am stronger than you. Drake. It's just a matter of time, and we both know it. No matter how much you deny it, we are very similar. You also love to cause pain and kill. Issei. That's not true. It's just you. Drake. I gave you the power, and you chose to use it. Issei. You deceived me, you used me. Drake. No, I've never used you. We've supported each other, and it's only a matter of time before you support me in this too. You can't change who you are. Issei's body returned to normal before the angel's eyes, and they granted him divine protection so that Drake couldn't possess his body. Michael. It's clear he's woken up from going out to kill. Issei. I won't let that happen. Thanks for the help. Dulio. You're welcome, but you'd better be careful. Drake. Just wait, Haidu. Issei. Shut up already. Issei returned home and saw that everyone was waiting for him with concern, so he simply told them to calm down. Hayam checked that everything was in order, and Rias and her entourage told him they would support him in any way they could. Issei. That's good to hear, but I have to go train with Tannen. Issei said goodbye to everyone with a hug to feel better and went to the place Tannen indicated, teleporting himself there. When he arrived, Tannen asked him if everything was alright and he just nodded. Tannen. Good, then I'll train you to control that. I also did stupid things when I was young. Issei. Well, I hope you'll be a demanding teacher. I like challenges. Tannen. You'll change your mind about me. Issei cracked his knuckles and Drake began to worry that Tannen was now in the brunette's life as he would cause him a lot of problems. On the verge of madness. The chestnut-haired boy sat on a rock, eating some nuts. He was peaceful when he felt a sharp pain in his stomach. Thinking it was from the nuts, he stopped eating and lay back on the rock, knowing his master would be late due to an engagement with one of his children or something similar. The boy closed his eyes and fell into a deep sleep. Minutes passed, and when he opened them, he found himself in Kuo, which he found strange. Even stranger was that everything around him was burning, and people were screaming and running. Issei tried to help a child, but the boy wet himself in fear and tearfully begged for his life. Issei didn't understand what was happening, but when he touched the child, he exploded, splattering blood all over him. Issei. What is this? Issei continued running through the devastated city and saw his acquaintances and new friends die before his eyes. Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Kiba, Ravel, Masako, Tiamat. Finally, he walked to an alley, and it began to rain. A large puddle formed in front of him, and he saw the silhouette of a dragon with its fangs bared and its eyes filled with hatred and fury. Drake. We have finally completed the union. This city is only the beginning. Soon we will go after the country, the world, and all the territories of supernatural beings. We will rule all, Haidu Issei. Issei. What the hell did you do? Drake. It's only a matter of time before you enjoy this again. After all, you enjoyed it before. From the puddle emerged a brown-haired boy with a sadistic smile that betrayed an incredible, suppressed pain. Issei. That's not true, hey. Issei, child. We have to go back to the old days. We were happy, we were strong and unstoppable. Issei. He was killing us, he was killing you. I'll realize it. Issei grabbed his past self by the shoulders and the latter just lowered his gaze. Then, a bunch of his younger self started to emerge and a pitched battle began. At the end, the silhouette of another child could be seen. Issei, child. If we can't defeat the big one, we'll destroy what helped the little one. Issei. What helped me? I don't remember. The children approached the silhouette, but Issei, without realizing it, defended it to the death. At one point, the silhouette took his hand, but he couldn't recognize him or her because it was shrouded in darkness. Issei. Remember, Issei, damn it. Drake. Time is running out, and suddenly you'll be on my side whether you like it or not. Issei. I have to remember. What helped me when I was little? The children leaped toward their older selves, and this version defeated them all one by one, each time more sadistically and painfully. In the end, only one child remained, and Issei grabbed him by the neck, holding a sword in his right hand. He was about to kill him when suddenly he saw reptilian eyes, and everything went dark. Issei. What the hell happened? Issei opened his eyes and saw that Tannen was asleep, and Issei was on top of him, pointing a sword at the dragon's closed eye. Issei slowly got off without waking him and went to take a bath, overwhelmed by the illusion. Issei. What did you do now, Drake? Drake. Unfortunately for you, I didn't do anything. In fact, I was surprised too. I was watching everything from an incredible place. Issei. Where? Drake. Where else? Inside your idiot's head. Issei. I'm not going to believe you. You created this illusion so I would kill Tannen. Drake. Killing that former Dragon King would be a great help, but I can't create illusions. That was your own dream, perhaps what you truly yearn for. Issei. Shut up already before I rip my head off. Drake. We both know that's not how it works. Otherwise, you would have gotten rid of me a long time ago. Issei. Just give me a break. I don't know what to do with my life anymore. Issei sat down on a rock and Drake noticed a certain sadness in his words. He knew the boy's story. He wasn't stupid. He was looking for a strong but wounded host to make it easier to take over and commit even more atrocities. But it didn't work with Issei, since his will, and thanks to the help of his now dead friends, had managed to be strong enough to keep him inside and control him, something no one had ever done before. Drake was seeing everything from the brown-haired boy's perspective, and Issei buried his head in his knees and hugged them. Issei. Of all the people who were suffering, why me? Drake. It would have been easier to take over your mind and body, but it didn't work out that way. Even so, I don't intend to give up. Issei. Sometimes I wonder if all this is worth it. Don't you have another purpose? Drake. Do you? Think carefully about your answer. Since you came into this world, you've suffered and been torn apart. You've killed innocents with your own hands, and those bloodstains, even if they're not visible, are always there in your mind. I know you remember. Issei. Every damn stupid day. And I know it's not your fault. I've done many bad things too. Drake. Perhaps we're both just deranged individuals, incapable of adapting to society and being happy. Perhaps our way of being happy is hurting others. In other words, we both find pleasure in hurting and killing people. Issei. Of course, it's not a very painful long-term wound. Drake. Why do you dwell on it so much and torment yourself with things you shouldn't? Do you think anyone cares about the murderers and rapists you killed as a child? No one cares. In this world, people only care about their own lives. If you were the one dying in front of someone like me or someone like you, no one would help you. Everyone would just walk right past you and ignore you. Issei. Maybe, who knows? Drake. You actually did the world a favor. You killed rapists and murderers. Think about how many people you saved from suffering that tragic fate. Just think about that little girl who was about to die. And what did you do? You killed that devout priest, so pure in his faith, who was about to be sacrificed because he was insane. Issei. Stop it. Drake. And how did you do it? While she was unconscious, you beat him to death, ate his skin like a cannibal or a dragon, and buried him in the same church where he worked. Issei. Enough. Drake. And now you tell me you can't. If a child could do it, why can't you? Issei. I didn't know what I was doing back then. I was corrupted. Drake. Of course not. They turned you into trash, incapable of doing the job you were meant to do. Issei. By someone like you. Drake. You're not so different from me. Let me remind you of the smile and satisfaction you had when you killed that priest and many other criminals. But no, the child began to grow and mature and rotted away. All that potential you had went to hell, which is where you are now. Issei. Shut your damn mouth. Issei destroyed the cave he was in with a single shot from his hand and launched himself from the mountaintop. As he hit the ground, black blood splattered everywhere and began to flow back into his dying body, as if it had a life of its own. Issei. I don't want any more of this. Drake. You'll go back to being the way you were before, and if I have to kill each and every one of your loved ones, I will. But to do that, I'll break your mind in such a horrific way that you won't even recognize yourself anymore and you'll return to your former glory. Just you wait, Haidu. Issei. I won't let that happen. Issei closed his eyes to rest. When he opened them, he found himself lying in the middle of dragon territory, surrounded by a large number of these creatures. Issei got up and the dragons moved away, seeing that he was alright, and went about their business. Issei went to some nearby hot springs, and upon entering, he saw in his reflection how vein in his neck began to turn dark, like his blood. He quickly left the place. Phoenix Castle. Issei suddenly appeared at the Phoenix entrance, covering his vein with his hand, and asked the guards to let him in. They escorted him to Razer, who was training. Guard. Razer-sama, the Sekiryuutei Haidu Issei has come to see you. Razer. Haidu, what brings you here? Issei. I need your help. Do you have any Phoenix tears available? Razer. Yes. Who's injured? Issei. Me. I want to see if anything will work. Razer saw a dark stain slowly begin to spread across Issei's neck, right where he was covering it with his hand. Razer. Take your hand away from your neck, Haidu. Issei. Please, Razer-san. Razer. Take it away. Issei removed his hand so Phoenix could see, and the surprised Phoenix quickly grabbed a vial. Issei was waiting at a table when Ravel suddenly sat down across from him. Issei tried to hide his vein, but Ravel spotted the wound in time and quickly stood up to inspect it closely. Ravel. What is this? I've never seen anything like it. Issei. You don't need to worry, I'll be fine. I'm just waiting for Razer. Ravel. Of course I should be worried. You're a friend because you helped my brother and I like you, so I should help you. Razer. I'm back, Haidu. Now just put the drop on the wound. Issei. Isn't it supposed to work anywhere on the body? Razer. Just to be sure. Issei took the vial and opened it. He tilted his head slightly and Ravel placed the vial over the wound. A single drop fell precisely onto the wound. Issei felt a slight sting, but the vein returned to normal, for which he thanked both phoenixes. He was about to leave when Ravel handed him 2 more vials in case he needed anything. Issei thanked them and proceeded to leave. Issei's house. Issei arrived home and found it empty. He sat on a new sofa and started watching TV. He was watching a late-night program when he fell into a deep sleep. Hours passed, and the brown-haired boy felt a hand on his cheek. He woke up and saw Tiamat. Tiamat. What happened to you, Issei? Issei. What are you talking about? Issei got up and went to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw a large black stain appear on the right side of his face. He could see his eye turning dark red while the other half remained intact. Tiamat arrived seconds later and her face looked even more worried as she saw the stain spreading and reaching his other eye. Issei reached for Phoenix Tears, but when he applied one, the process accelerated, so he put the other away. Tiamat. I don't know what to do. Let's see, maybe we should go to Tannen. Issei. Wait here, I'll be back in a few seconds. I have an idea. Issei appeared in the club and saw that everyone was there. They found it strange to see him since he was supposed to take a week off for training, but when they saw his face and part of his arms were black, they became alarmed. Rias. What happened, Issei-kun? Issei. Akeno-san, I need your help. Please help me with some method of healing the fallen. Akeno. I could heal you with lightning if it works, though I don't know. Issei. How does it work? Akeno. I just have to charge the energy of lightning for a few seconds and spread it over the injured area. Seeing that, I should start now. Rias. The effect increases with the power, right? Akeno. Yes, although it requires a lot of energy and I don't know how to use it very well. Rias. I'll help you. They both went outside and began preparations to help Issei. He lay down a little and his eyes began to blur, everything appearing blood red. Biba got a bottle of water and gave Issei some to drink. Seeing his temperature rise, she used a cloth to cover his head. Meanwhile, Kaneko watched the scene, feeling useless because of her fears. Perhaps she could also help with her power, but the fear of hurting someone prevented her. Issei noticed this and took Kaneko's hand. Issei, it's okay to be afraid of hurting others, Kaneko-chan. I know how you feel. If you want to help me, but something's wrong, don't worry, you shouldn't push yourself. I'll be fine. Kaneko felt the brunette's grip weakening, and she had an idea. Perhaps she didn't have complete control over her power, but there was something she could do. Kaneko. Can you hear me, Issei-senpai? Issei saw a small white shape approaching him, so he jumped off the sofa and crawled across the floor. Kaneko and Kiba helped him up and laid him back down. Kaneko. Okay, then I need to hurry. Kiba-san, watch him for a second. Kiba. Okay, but hurry. Come on, Issei-kun, listen to me. Kaneko left the room and a tail with cat ears appeared. It was hidden and very scared, but it created balls of blue fire that swirled around it. After that, the shape disappeared and it threw itself against the door in fear. After about 20 seconds, it got up and went back into the room. Kiba. What is that? Kaneko. Let me put it all over his body. The fireballs were positioned in a small radius encompassing the injured area. They landed above Issei, and Kaneko rubbed his face and neck up to his elbows with her hands. After a few seconds, smoke began to rise and the stain slowly started to recede, but it stopped at his shoulders. After 5 seconds, it began to spread even further. Rias. We're here. Hang in there, Issei-kun. Akeno placed a sphere imbued with the power of lightning and destruction on Issei's face. The sphere slowly spread, covering the injured area. It glowed for a minute and when the glow faded, the large stain disappeared. Issei. Thanks. That was tiring. Kiba. What was that, Issei-kun? Issei. I don't know. Anyway, thanks to everyone for helping me, though it might not be the last time. Thanks. Akeno. You're welcome. Issei got up, but he was completely exhausted and collapsed into Ria's arms. Issei. I know it's a lot to ask, but could you teleport me home? Rias. No problem. Rias created a magic circle around them all, and they appeared at Issei's house. Upon arriving, Tiamat hugged Issei and laid him down on the sofa, where he instantly fell asleep. Tiamat, thank you for bringing him. I was so worried. He said it would only take a few seconds. Rias. You're welcome. Let us know if you need anything. Tiamat. Okay, thank you. Ria's entourage disappeared and Tiamat looked at Issei before carrying him and Massacre to their room, where the three of them slept together in case anything happened to him. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.